Hello, and welcome to another edition of Pack Wars So You Don't Have to. I was looking through the list of suggestions recently, and I selected one that is relevant to some events that have happened recently. I have picked up a number of graded cards over the last year, and I submersed them underwater, held them down with rocks, and left them in a pail for 1 week to see how they would fare. Now, in the last year, we've seen some major hurricanes, flooding, and there are some collectors who unfortunately have lost a large portion of their collection due to this. And believe it or not, right now in Arizona, we are receiving the tail end of Hurricane Rosa. So it's the first time hurricanes hit Arizona since I can remember. But what I did was I picked up these cards over the last year. I picked up 2 Beckett's, 1 SGC, and 5 PSAs that have been graded over a number of years. I know that PSA has changed their grading, their cases, their flips. So, like I said, what I did was I put them under the water, left them there for a week, and pulled them out. I'm going to go turn on the light here so we get a better view. The Beckett cards are both 2006 score, and there's reflection. But as you can see, the flips have kind of a metallic, so they didn't get damaged. The cards, the pack, the cases seem rather, in good condition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and break the cards out of the case, and we're going to see if there was any damage underneath. So Beckett makes sure that people do not break into their cases. They do that very well. So let's see. I'm not too worried about damaging the card or anything in this case, unlike others that I've broken out. So let's see how we did. Okay, so with Beckett, the cards are in sealed penny sleeves. So I had forgotten about that actually. There's no moisture on the card. The card is undamaged. So that's a good start for Beckett. So we'll go ahead and go with the second Beckett. A little pop. A little crack. And let's see how Lawrence Maroney did. Same thing. Penny sleeve, sealed. No moisture whatsoever. No moisture inside the case. Beckett has passed the test. If you have Beckett cards and you are caught in a flood, you will, in this case, it appears that you will be fine. So let's go with the PSA cards. I've got 4 of them, but what I'll do is I'm just going to go ahead and crack 3 of them on video because it can get boring, and I'm going to leave that for last. Okay, so with these, I chose a 98 Upper Deck Black Diamond, a 96 Skybox Z-Force, and Skybox Simpsons cell card. So the card is plastic, so I'm not having much concern there about damage to the card. But let's see how we did here. As you've seen with me popping cases before, PSA is very simple. So no moisture. No moisture on the back. The flip was stuck to it. Oh, it appears that the flip has plastic adhesive to it. The card, no moisture, no damage. So that's good. We're 3 for 3 right now. So we'll go on to the Z-Force. Sharif Abdur-Rahim. I had some big idea that he would do well. I was wrong. Okay, nothing on the front. Nothing, no damage to the card, and it smells like 1996. If you collected in the 90s, you know what that smell is. Okay, now this one is different. I don't know when this was done. If I'm not mistaken, the holographic PSA sticker are actually more modern flips. If you can see, there's actually moisture lined here along the top, and the flip is wet. It's actually soaked. So this case did not do the, oh yeah, the flip is falling apart. The flip is soaked and falling apart, and the card, well, plastic, there is moisture on the card. There are droplets all over the card, and I dried these when I pulled them out of the water, so the water did not come from the outside of the case, and it's all wet all along the top there. Same thing on the other side. So PSA, these are your new cases. It failed. All right, finally we got Eddie Jones. He was another one that I had big hopes for. This is from 94.95 Topps Finest, and like the other one, there is moisture along the edge of the case all along. I can't tell the flip. It seems to be a little wet on one side, but I'm not certain. And here we go, SGC. Let's see how you fared. I've never opened an SGC case that I can think of, so this will be the first time, and they put a border around the card. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so let's get the flip out. No, the flip is not wet. And while I can't get the card out yet, I don't want to damage the card on this one. He was the only Laker since the Magic and Abdul-Jabbar days that I actually cared about. Oh, and Cedric Sabalas, but other than that, I hate the Lakers. So the border is wet along the edge of one side and along the back. And the card does have moisture on it, but being a Finest card, that moisture did not do anything. Now looking at the back of the card, which was not damaged, there is no moisture, there's like some sort of coating that I'm familiar with this year's Finest. What are they, 95, 96, 94, 95. I'm familiar with the Finest. I do not remember there being a coating on the back. It's not gummy, but it's something on top of it. Now, I don't know if that came from the case or the border. I don't know. If anyone has any suggestions on if this was normal, I don't remember it, but there's also some indentations around the edge, and it was rated at 9.6, so these indentations came at a later time. It might have been from me opening it, but they're on the edges and around the sides. Again, it's not water damage, it's just damage as is. So there we go. One PSA failed miserably. The SGC failed, but considering the card was Finest, it was just moisture that wiped right off. The other two PSAs passed. The two Beckett's passed. So if you're ever in a situation where your graded cards do end up underwater, you may be okay in the long run. It seemed like if the flip got wet, the card got wet. So if you notice that there's moisture on the flip, such as this one, you know that the card itself is probably going to get wet. So there you go. Soaked cards, 1 week under the water, and most of them seem to pass. So thank you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.